All right, what's going on, everybody? It is Jan, and I am here with Creator, aka David, that tall cosplayer, pro cosplayer, who has been a wonderful addition to the Justice for Hire cinematic universe. And I'm just really excited to finally have a JFH development call with him. And if you don't know what a JFH development call is, in the filmmaking process, in the film and television process, there is something called the development phase. And so Hollywood studios in general, and pretty much anybody who's working on a project of scale has to go into a period of time where you're actually working through character and ideas, etc. A lot of times development is happening before the script is even written. But the way that we're doing things with Justice for Hire and the way that we're envisioning things with Real World, which is the company that's producing Justice for Hire and more to come, is that development happens alongside the production and creative process. All of the layers are happening simultaneously in this kind of matrix. So we are working through character and story for the character creator right now. Creator is the name of the character. And if you've seen the wonderful outfit the creator has, the V1 outfit, there's some wonderful footage that we just started leaking within the last couple week or so of creator in season 1 of Justice for Hire. So lots of great stuff here, but let's actually talk about the story, the creator story, and how this can, one, serve the purpose of just allowing creator to grow as a character, and two, how this can tie into Justice for Hire in various ways. So that's really where we would start on any of these development calls, and finishing up this little intro. Anybody who creates in Justice for Hire is eligible for a development call. So all you do is like press the little button, but you have to actually be actively creating. So if you haven't done anything yet, start doing some stuff and then press that button to request a development call in justiceforhire.app. All right, so that said, welcome creator, and what's going on. I'm happy to talk, kind of go through the general process here, but I'm interested more so about where you feel like you are in your creative process with your character right now.
Where I am now, I'm working on filming and producing content. When I think of things like this, I don't believe in producing sloppy work or rushed work. I kind of take it very seriously. I actually do take it very seriously. I look for people who can, produce the content that's worth presenting. I don't believe in praising mediocre work, if that makes sense, because essentially we want the people to see what we do as good work, As for my character, my suit's pretty much good. I'm working on another suit, a few tweaks here and there. I've met up with some other people from the cast. We filmed together. I've met up with some other people personally just to go over like training and filming and yeah, I'm coming back. I've worked on other things like training, filming, writing down stuff, scratching stuff out, redoing stuff, because your first copy may not be your best copy, and then when you take a look back at it, you say, I don't need that, or I can redo that, or that can go into something else. Currently, I'm working with some of my friends on the side to produce a soundtrack, because this is all about originality in a sense, and people always ask for originality, and it's a lot harder than they think it is. I don't believe in mimicking somebody, if that makes sense. I believe in when you have a character, everyone said, well, it's this character, it's that character. It's not the character, it's how you present the character. I always say things like, you look at like Omni-Man, Superman, Homelander, they all have like the same feats, but each one of them have a different storyline, and you can always tell them the difference. My goal is to make my character as interesting as possible, where people can relate to him on all aspects. Like it's not just, it's just that person that you're born. Like, oh, that's created, that's this person, that people are actually gonna know they're gonna know who I am. Well, not know me, but like know who my character is when they see, let's say, posted somewhere, they see it online or something like that.
So
Just in general,
that's a good
what's
question,
up?
actually. Who would you say, how would you describe creator?
Being that this is a realistic thing, well, not realistic, more like because, like, for instance, there's no flying, there's no shooting lightning from your hands, there's no like
Yeah, it's
teleporting.
reality-based action, where the Justice for Hire is a near future sci-fi reality-based action cinematic universe.
I would, within my capabilities and my limits, I'm more of a Nightwing mixed with Daredevil mixed with Kick-Ass. But a little bit of like, I'm gonna say brains on the side. I can't think of. I'm not. I'm not insanely smart, but I'm averagely smart. You know, so people can see that like the suit that I designed. It's like I turn what I love like into cosplay into something more realistic. So you're gonna see a mix of everything, and then I'm actually taking self-defense classes on the side, to give it a more of a look instead of like not a street fight, like choreography, And I can say the best part about choreography is that it is tiring, and you actually you get a newfound respect of the work that the people put into it. It's not like something you can do in just like 20 minutes. You might have to redo the same action move 20 times over, until you get it perfect, until, it smooths. It looks movie worthy. It's a ride, it's a learning process. And I think once people actually have an understanding and you have a newfound appreciation for what we actually do behind the scenes. People see the finished product, but they don't see the sweat, the tears, the pain, the injuries, the finance that goes into this, because I'm not saying they don't understand, but they haven't experienced that. You can't tell us how to do our job if we never did it. This whole journey has given me a newfound respect for artists, videographers, choreographers, dancers, other cosplay, because it's a craft, and I don't ever want it to feel like work.
Hmm.
Some people, to me, it's not work. It's something that I love. I could do this all day. As long as the content that we're producing, and when I do this, I don't look for like attention. I don't look for like, I'm doing something big, because I learned that you never know who you're inspiring. You never know. I might get that one message that could make your whole day. Or like, I always wanted to do it, and then I see you doing it. It helps us birth the new generation of people who's coming after us. Like, for me, in my case, new cosplayers, new representation, new ideas, let people see, like, if he could do it, I could do it too. So like when you see creator, his name, we're creating. That's how I look at it.
So I have a few questions for you here, because this is really interesting. I think the sentiment of everything you're saying is really beautiful. And I'm wondering a little bit more. I Kick-Ass meets Nightwing. I love that. I think that's amazing. But and so who is creator though when the suit isn't on? Like, what is the origin story of creator, and how in character? Like, who became creator? Who puts on the mask, and why?
Um, well, obviously David, but like when I think of this, it's just more like heroes come in all shapes, forms, sizes, ethnicities, backgrounds, and I want people to see, like, you don't have to be built, you don't have to be insanely fast. You just got to be able to make a difference. So like in real life, I work with kids, I work in a community center, I go to church. I I'm I try to set a positive example to let people see that not everybody's bad. So when they see, like, okay, in my sense, Clark Kent, Superman, when they see David, they see the funny cosplayer, the one who makes you laugh, the one who helps you regardless, the one who will don't look for attention. But when I put on the suit, you already know that I'm coming to help you, and you're gonna get saved, if that makes sense. But like regular David, I'm gonna do it because it's the right thing to do. Lead by example. So with or without the suit, I'm still a hero, but in the suit is my secret identity. But
So
all heroes need secret identity.
so question, because again, everyone knows I'm also part of the Justice for Hire cast, and I play we always speak in character and out of character. So out of character, I'm a producer, but I'm also a cast member. In character, I play the character Jan, and the character Jan is like the founder of the JFH app, and works with his team or a team of people to build out this app that is essentially centralizing heroes. But there's a whole journey. So like while I'm playing a fictionalized version of myself, that fictionalized version of myself has character motivations that have led to the concept of justice for hire in the story. And that's all the stuff that we're going to explore in season 1 and showcase why justice for hire exists and how we're coming together as a community, a global community of heroes. So my question to you is one, in character, in character and out of character, is David also the alter ego for the Clark Kent to creator? So when creator is not in creator mode, is it David, or is there another name for the character?
No, it's still David, because I'm actually using my real life to keep it like genuine. I'm gonna say I use real life aspects, so I don't have to, I don't have to pretend to be a good person. I don't have to pretend to be, I don't have to pretend that I like kids. I don't have to pretend that I like cosplay. Like I take my real life aspects and apply it to this. So it's more natural, it's more understanding, it's more heartwarming, it's more heartfelt. Because you can sense from my perspective, you can sense when somebody's in it for the right reason and somebody's in it just to gain attention.
Yeah.
Me personally, I love what I do in or out of cosplay. So mean that there's no need to adapt. I mean, yes, there is always room for adapting, but like, I don't have to focus on growing that aspect of me. I can incorporate a new aspect and expand on the foundation I already have.
So then my follow-up question to that is if David is in character and out of character, David. So in character, is there what are the differences, if there are any differences, for the character David becoming creator? Because I think it's really interesting to have a cosplay, to have a character that is a cosplayer that somehow there's got to be that connection of like, you know what, I'm gonna throw on this outfit and get into this JFH app and actually just start doing good in this outfit. I think I think it makes total sense to want to do that. But is there any I feel like there is, and I'll speak from what I'm seeing with creator as a storyteller, as a filmmaker, and kind of what I want to see from creator as well. Because I think there's a lot that there's obviously a lot that that I don't know, and that we as a community don't know yet, because you're still putting together your content. But it seems to me, especially from our previous conversations with the shoot that we did this summer, where creator encountered Cowboy, and the whole concept of you having a new suit that will eventually be revealed to everybody. And this new suit is essentially an upgrade because of that encounter with Cowboy, meaning that reads to me, that cosplayer has a heroic heart. Heroic heart, goes out to do good, and then realizes that the cosplay outfit, the gear, needs to be upgraded for an even more real world action experience. So it sounds to me that you're almost moving from being cosplayer, meaning in the fandom sense of the word, of you emulating another character, to actually like recognizing who your original hero is, like who. And I think that's a really, really interesting concept of saying, here's a person who because I've seen your other cosplay for Marvel characters and for anime characters, and you do brilliant stuff. And so recognizing that that, hey, you know what, I'm making my own, I'm going to do something just for me that I've created. One, I think that's a major step in whether you want to call it in character or out of character. I think that's actually a big step for the cosplay community, because there really is no place for that. And that's kind of what we're doing with Justice for Hire to a certain extent, is saying, hey, look, like if you are a hero in here, join us. And what is your, like, I'm a plainclothes hero, but like my plain clothes are part of my like mental armor, and so other people have more overt armor, more overt gear. And I feel like you're an example of that. You built your entire gear. You're my son's favorite character in JFH, like in real life. And so I'm just wondering, is that am I reading this trajectory right? That a cosplayer with a good heart saw the ability to actually be a hero through this app and decided to do it, and then realized that, hey, I need to upgrade my gear so that I can do even more heroic work, and I need to start training more, and I need to do all this other stuff to actually live up to this opportunity of being a hero. Am I reading this correct?
Okay, so basically I look at it this way. I consider like my first suit the Party City version. Okay. Yeah. So like it's a Party City version, like it's a Halloween, like you know how like when you go for Iron Man, I'll go get like an Iron Man Party City suit. But like if I go to a convention where I want to showcase my skills and my talent, I'll build an actual suit for it, So I'm trying to, show that it's more like growth, Like if let's say somebody wants to be creator in the near future or whatever, they might have a knockoff suit, or they might put it together themselves. But then like in my case, it wouldn't be a knockoff suit. It would be like the actual real deal, like I put it together. This is what it's for, and that's going to be specifically for, let's say shooting, or specifically for, doing hero work, shooting wise. But like my first suit, it could just be like, let's say like, going to a kid's party, or like a show and tell, or like like a pop up. Like Iron Man has his basic suit, but then like in the Marvel movies, he has his nanotech suit. Like my second suit might be like
50 something suits. He's got like 50 something.
Yeah, suits. Yeah. So like my first suit is gonna be like it was my first suit is it's a Party City suit. Just to get my feet wet. Like hey, this is where it's going. But then let's say the more seasons come out, the more training we do, the more work we put in. People are gonna notice the growth and see that they can enjoy the journey. So my whole goal is to let the fans or the people enjoy the journey that comes with it and learn from every aspect. Because at the end of the day, you're only as good as your last win. Tomorrow could be a new problem. Tomorrow could be you can learn something new. You learn something every day when doing this. And you just got to take everything that you learn and try to make the best version of yourself. So what I'm learning is that because since I take it so seriously, sometimes you're gonna have to step up your game. You have to. Like for me, personally, I don't have a team, so I have to play to the strength of working with others. People are willing to work with me because they know that I'm serious. But also, my strength is that so far nobody has a suit. So now I'm gonna have to play on the fact that I have something that they don't have. To produce like, oh yeah, superhero, but you stand out because you did a suit. You want people to see like, oh, he took something that he loved and turning it into something great. And I want people to see that you could take something that you love and turn it into something great. Like if you like painting, paint all your life, but when it's time for you to show up and you show out. So being that I'm showing up, I'm trying to show out. As in, like I'm proud of what I'm doing. I'm proud of this. I'm proud that I'm actually producing something that people are going to love, or learn to like, or learn to love. I just want people to see that the world is yours. like you said, it's original. Nobody's doing this before. So if somebody's doing something original, there's no rules to it. Like,
Yeah.
this is your project. There's no rules to it. You don't have to follow a guideline. It's all up here. You know, you just have to surround yourself with the right visionary to help you produce what you need to show. Like with me, I'm a visual person. However, I'm not a textile person, you know. And I see everything up here, but to get it out on the floor, to get it out on, you know, I might need help landmarking. I might need help drawing a stencil. I might need help working on lines. I can have a great vision in my head, but if I don't have the right way to produce it, it's going to look like a mess.
Mhm.
You know, it's all about organization, you know, and that's why I'm always constantly texting and asking for updates or, you know, letting you know what I'm doing. So, you know, if you see something that could be tweaked, hey, I didn't think of it that way. Now we're making the vision broader, we're making the vision greater, and we're making the people see that this is a teamwork exercise, you know? Like I said, one man can't do everything, but everybody can do something. Like you may need a hero. Maybe you might need a hero that you personally can't do, but somebody else can. And now but at the end of the day, the whole how should I phrase it? The whole thing is aligning. We're all on the same page, you know. Your chapter, your first line, I'm the second line. This person's the third line, and each line tells a great part of the story. It's all about making people appreciate the story. You know, story sells, images. And we're in an age now where imaging sells, story sells. You know, good content sells. You can go viral ASAP. You know, but you just don't want to. You don't want to be a one-hit wonder. Like I said, this is not something that you can just do and then stop, or you know, unless you're okay with being like a one-hit wonder. But like, I feel like in our case, this is gonna be forever. Like you're gonna keep birthing generation after generation until we sit back in 10, 15 years from now, be like, I remember that. I remember how it all started, you know? That's how I look at it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I love that you're thinking like that. And I have to say for the sake of community canon, for the canonical history of JFH, there are actually several heroes that have made their own costumes. There's actually several of them. And some, actually, I think most of them are actually anti-heroes. They're still heroes technically, but they would consider themselves anti-heroes. That being said, I feel like you are absolutely one of the most, if not the most active of any of the costumed heroes to date. And I think that's one of the, I mean, obviously that's one of the reasons that we've been able to collaborate so in such a dynamic way. So keeping that in mind, that you have that you're doing something that you're essentially pioneering. You know, you're while there are other heroes that have costumes, you're still amongst the pioneering heroes, costume heroes for Justice for Hire. And I think it's really interesting that that I think one of the challenges with Hollywood and the challenges with the Hollywood screenwriting structure is that it presupposes a certain type of trauma, and I really want to use the word trauma for a hero to exist, and the organization, the timing of these traumas. You know, bad thing happens, and then person becomes like has to make the choice to become hero. You know, there's this essentially these are inciting incidents and plot points and etc. And I love that the way that you've described your hero is very much the way that I've always wanted to hear people think about story, which is, I feel like it, so I do it. It's in my heart, so I do it, which is a very different. It's the type of choice that allows for anybody to actually embody a hero, versus saying that creator one night, like a car came and crashed into his corner store, and all of a sudden he recognized that he had to be the one to avenge his people, you know, like that, like something like that that's contrived and doesn't put us in a position to truly relate to. We all go through challenges, And I think that because of the fact that we all go through challenges, and that these challenges are actually relative, they're relative to our lives. So you can't say that something that might sound small to you isn't huge for somebody else. And so I love this idea of a cosplay hero, that a cosplayer, I mean, is simply a cosplayer that said, hey, you know what? I'm going to try this out. And I like this, and I'm going to do better, and I'm going to upgrade my gear, and I'm going to keep on doing. And so I think that's really, really interesting. So I guess my question now, from the dramatic side, is what do you want to see from your character creator? How do you want to see creator grow? Is there something specific that the creator wants but does not have? And how can creator move toward achieving that within a story? And I think that the first thing you just think of is just like, what is there an object that the creator is trying to get, or something the creator is trying to achieve right now? And if not, that's actually fine. But I'm wondering if that's something that you've thought of yet.
As of now, what I think I want creator to see is that when being that I'm not just like, when I think of like other heroes like Batman had a death in his family, Superman had his planet destroyed, and like Naruto, whatever, he was an orphan because his parents sealed the nine-tailed fox inside of him. They have like their version of trauma that they want to be great. What I want is, I want to be great, but not great for me. I feel like being great to me is selfish. I want to be great so that when other people see, you know how they say some heroes are born, some heroes are made? Yeah. I'm the type of person where I want to see that a hero was made. I'm not a prodigy child. I didn't inherit millions. I didn't inherit, an estate. I didn't get like all this famous tech. I didn't get that. I made my character great, which I can essentially let people see that it's not where you started, but it's where you end up. So I guess what I want for my hero to have is to show that you did it. You made the difference, you made the difference. Well, even if it's just one kid or two kids, it may not even be a kid, it may be an adult, maybe they could see that, if he's, okay, I'm 30. So if a 30-year-old man is making a difference in other people's lives, why can't I? Like, I want to be, My Hero Academia, I want to be the symbol of peace. So, or like, I want to be the symbol of, of hope. I want to be the symbol of, like the community that's underrepresented, like, I was bullied. Yeah, we got made fun of for stuff that was deemed uncool. But even though it was uncool before, it's cool now. But I never changed my ways, I never folded. I never adapted to appease anybody else. Like, it's a long road. But what I just want people to see that if I can do it, you can do it. That's what I think I really want. Like, it's not, being great is in the eye of the beholder. So let's say you may not think I'm great, but if 5,000 other people think I'm great to them. And it comes with that, but that's what the territory comes with. You're not going to please everybody. You're not going to appease everybody. You're not going to be a hero to everybody. However, the ones that you are becoming a hero to, make them proud. Take it with a grain of salt. I would say flex and remain humble. This is a humbling experience. I want people to see that you turned what you got made fun of for 15 years ago into a masterpiece. You get made fun of for painting. However, you're painting beautiful sculptures or you're painting beautiful artworks that's appreciated by millions. It doesn't mind. It doesn't care what the naysayers say. Huh? Huh? No, hey, hold on. All right. You out? But, you know, I don't want, I don't want people to, you know, see that, you know, they're doing stuff for the wrong reasons. Like, to me, this is not an ego boost. This is actually to make a difference. It's actually to show people that, you know, you can be great. You just have to find your greatness. You know, and me personally, I think I'm on the verge of finding my greatness by turning something that I love into art.
Mm.
So like whether your art, like I said, if it's playing chess, if it's cooking, if it's teaching, if it's singing, you're always going to be a hero to somebody, and you just never know who you're going to be a hero to. But once you become that hero, try and maintain that image in their heads. You know, that's how I see it. As a creator, I just want people to see that, you know, if he can do it, I can do it. And like you said, that can birth a new inspiration to somebody else. My goal is just to turn what I love into a newfound appreciation, you know, a better understanding, you know, something like that. Like there's nothing like physical or tangible that I want. It's more of like an emotional gratitude. It's more of like an emotional appreciation. It's more of like a satisfaction knowing that I did the best I could and I created something after me. You know, like Batman has Robin, you know, like something like that. Or Superman has Superboy, or, you know, something like that.
Interesting. So it sounds to me, because this what I love about what you just said is that the impact is something that is continual. It is a consistent impact that you're seeking. It sounds to me that the it's not an object, it's an emotion, and it's the emotion that you share with others. It's an inspiration that you essentially give to others, and or bring out of others through your behavior. And that is that to me is a very different and refreshing model for a hero, because it is, and correct me if I'm wrong here, if I'm misinterpreting what you're saying, but it sounds to me that it reminds me of the stories that I grew up with. And I grew up with very particular stories from across the world of heroes that were driven by not by the hero's journey model of attempting to go, like, let's say, get the fire and bring it back to the village so that everyone could then, you know, have fire, and having to slay a dragon for that. It's really more so that the living as love, you know, as an embodiment of love, and you know, love has many different forms. So to be able to show up as a good person on a regular basis, and it just so happens that you're in an outfit that I assume is going to turn into some form of armor. So you know, it's essentially, it just so happens that you're doing this stuff, and I think that it sounds to me that you know, creator, to a certain extent, you know, the creator will go out on missions. Creator will go out, and whether it's help an elderly person across the street carrying groceries or something like that, or potentially show up to, you know, fight a bunch of ninjas, like whatever is necessary for a particular moment, creator's going to show up and is going to do it with a certain sense of integrity and love, because creator is aware that that your behavior is received by other people, and that these other people will potentially model themselves after your behavior. And that to me is really powerful. And did I understand that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's really, really powerful. And I think that's I think one of it puts us in a position where, you know, I think that these development sessions, obviously we're doing things in a new way, but traditionally you're going through these sessions saying, well, what scenes do you feel like you need for your character? Where do we want the character to go? And and we can answer all of those questions, but I think that, or we can dive deep into them and attempt to find some answers. But it sounds to me that I guess I have to ask a question rather than draw a conclusion here. Given what we have right now on the Justice for Hire app, in terms of the journey challenges and other challenges, whether it's development, et cetera, and the fact that we have missions on there, new missions are going to start coming this week, by latest Friday, and we have a bunch of them. They're like we've just been waiting to press launch on these things. So it sounds to me that, or I guess the question is, do you feel that you have enough as a creator, as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, out of character, to express yourself through creator in character, with what's being provided on the app currently, currently?
Do I have any? Actually, I think I have more than enough. I just have to, like I said, apply more pressure as per, making content. Like I know what I want to do. I have things that I've written out. I've spoken with other people. Now it's just more of, you gave us the foundation, you gave us the steps. Now it's up to me to take the steps that you've given us and implement them. There's no point of giving me tools to build a house and I don't build a house. You did your job. Now I'm saying it's up to me to do my job, if that makes sense. Like you
total sense.
Like you have the app, we tested it, we can shoot scenes, I've connected with so many people, so everything is there. Like all you got to do is just, like I said, I do my part. I send it to you, you edit it, you tell me what needs to be improved, and then go from there. Now, my whole goal is to, like I said, you might have, I might on my end, I might have to add a little spice of flavor or, pizzazz to it, simply because, like, one thing I have been doing is I've been watching Marvel movies, I've been reading comic books, I've been watching all types of TV shows just to get a feel of, how to make the scene more impactful. And one thing that I do notice is, like I said before, music. Me personally, I reached out a couple to my friends, and I gave them my idea and I let them play with it. And the samples that I sent you is songs that I think once I find the correct scene, it will make the scene 10 times more better. You know what I mean? And like I said, and it's original. And I don't want to do like stuff that people are already using, I don't want to get that same sad song. I don't want to get that same, upbeat hype music. I want people to see there's so many aspects to me. Like, I love gospel music. I love anime music. I love a good singer-songwriter song. I love upbeat music. So my soundtrack essentially would consist of 7 to, let's say, 11 songs of something where, when you hear it, you see a part of me. It takes time, but sometimes you just have to, I just got to put the pedal to the metal, time waits for nobody, like you said, if you want something done, you're just gonna have to go out and do it. Because there's no point of you doing all this stuff and we're not backing you up. You know what I mean? But yeah, we have the app, we have all these meetings, we have all these tests, we have the functionality to know how it works. So why aren't we, not saying that we're not, but sometimes you just gotta need a little bit of a boost.
I have to address this because I think this is, you bring up an important point, and the important point is that the question you just raised of why are you need to produce more content on the app, etc. That's awesome. That's great that you feel like that. I think that you are also you have a unique perspective given that you are very involved in the app tests, you've been involved in the community for several months, and really see where we're going. You've been on set with us, so you're in a unique position for over most people in the community. So I think you really get what the offering is. But I think the difference is that, and what's part of our responsibility, that's what the show is for. So while the app is the cinematic universe, the show is the driving engine for that cinematic universe. So it's something needs to get people excited so that they shoot content and come, and not just at any time, but within a time frame. So, when you say these things, absolutely, it's everybody's responsibility to like, hey, I have these tools and use them. But it's also our responsibility with the show. And given that we're a small team right now, the show is shot. The things that need to be shot have to come from the community. So we're going to be using these missions and challenges to pull in, not only build out everyone's individual story, but also to pull in content for the show itself. So that's what you're going to really be seeing. That's going to be the big shift starting this Friday. Is that's our next mission launches, and these things are going to be very, very important for us to have for the show. So the show is going to be in a more public facing stage of post-production, meaning editing, etc., in the coming weeks. So like everything that we're doing is about to shift into a, hey guys, like we need heroes doing this mission, we need heroes doing that mission, and we need it by this date so we can cut it into this episode. And so that's there's going to be more of a back and forth in the community coming soon. So I think that what you might be seeking, and the fact that you are so self-motivated, that's fantastic. And not everyone has that. But what all of us as fans know is that when something's happening, and if a movie's coming out on a particular date, you want to see it on that date. So
or an early preview,
and we're taking that same mentality and saying, okay, well, hold on, this is not just about the movie coming out or the show coming out. This is about us making it together. So like this date, have this footage in, and we'll be out at we'll see what makes it in, and and that's really how we're going to be building out the show, and not just one show. But over time, it's going to be multiple shows and films. That's how that's what Real World's all about. And that's what Justice for Hire is the first of. It's, a crowdsourced cinematic universe. So I think that you're, don't kick yourself too hard for being so self-motivated. There's going to be a lot more coming from our end.
Okay.
But man, is there anything that you felt like you might need? So any particular like a sounding board, someone to bounce ideas off of in any particular way for your character or for your story that we can dive into with, let's say, the next 10 minutes or so.
I'm trying to think. Like, maybe script writing, I'm gonna say. Like, I don't want my story to sound boring, if that makes sense.
Oh, script writing is are you saying maybe the script writing, maybe it would make your story sound boring if you wrote a script? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't want it to sound boring. Like, I don't want to be like, creator was walking down the street and then he saw a lady get her phone robbed. Like, I want, like, it's not boring, but you know what I mean? Like, I want to, have a, well, I just need to find that good.
You said you're a visual person. So script writing is one of the most visual. It's actually screenwriting is incredibly visual because it is moment per moment. Every page in a script equals 1 minute of screen time if it's properly formatted. So usually you have statements rather than run-on. Very rarely do you have run-on sentences. As a matter of fact, every sentence is a shot. So creator walks down the street. Next, skip a line. Creator, turns a corner and sees, skip a line. a person getting their purse stolen. Skip a line. His eyes bulge. He runs. Skip a line. You know, like, so it's really visual, line by line, and the only time you're really writing paragraphs is when all that stuff is happening in one shot, where there's a lot of description there. Like a creator walks into an office and sees, skip a line, you know, an executive sitting there in a beautiful suit. The suit has blue and red and blah blah, and you know, and all this other. So essentially, like, there's a process to essentially organizing your ideas beat by beat, so that you can know what you're going to put on camera. And you know, there's a, you know, people study a long time to write this stuff, and I think most of the time that time is actually wasted, because it shouldn't be that hard for us to quickly communicate, hey, let's actually just shoot something great. And you know, like, I'm not trying to take anything away from screenwriters, because any craft obviously you want to work on, or art form you want to work on as a discipline for a very long time. But what I'm getting at is that the waste of time is the concept of the old world Hollywood concept of, I wrote this script and I'm going to send it out to people. Most of those scripts go nowhere. But the way we're doing things is that us as a community, right? Like, the writing is however you want to catalog your ideas. So you don't need a script. You don't need to know screenwriting. You don't need to know the formatting. But if you know some of it, it's going to be helpful. But it should only be helpful. It shouldn't be a hindrance based on the way things were previously done or currently done in the business, in film and television. So what I'm really getting at is that you, with a phone, all of us equipped with phones in our hands, you come up with an idea, you can shoot it. And you know, if we don't have auto editing in our app yet, most people are not going to be able to say, hey Jan, can you help me with the cut? Because like time wise, I don't have the bandwidth for that. But you know, just you can get, until we have auto editing in our app, or we have editing tools in our app. You know, there's stuff like Video Leap, apps like that are fantastic for cutting together a scene. And I really just think that it's a matter of you watching scenes, you either doing what you feel is right based on your instincts, in terms of, I shot something, I'm going to cut it how I feel, or the other side is going to watch something that you really like and say, I'm going to shoot something like that, and I'm going to emulate the editing style of that to be able to tell this story more efficiently. And again, the editing style is actually what you wrote. So anything you're seeing, for the most part, and I say wrote, I put quotations around it, but if you took notes, a lot of times I'll take notes. And like Justice for Hire in particular is probably the way we're doing this series now, is the first time I really showed up to set a lot of times without a script, because I know what needs to be shot, and I know it because I see it in my head, and I get to set, and people are like, okay, what's the script? And I'm like, well, we're going to do more improv than pre-written dialogue. So this is where your character is. This is the time. This is how you feel. And these are the shots that I know I need to tell that story. I need to have a wide, in general, you know, if I'm taking a scene, I'm going to get at least 3 shots. I'm going to get a wide shot of all the action. I'm going to get a medium shot, which means essentially in between a close-up and the wide shot. I'm going to get something a little bit tighter. And then I'm going to get the close-ups that I need. If I need 1 close-up, or if I need 3 because there's 3 people, and get all that coverage. You know, those things together are called coverage. So, you know, as long as I'm getting those 3 shots, that's how I organize my mind. Like, you know, wide shot, need a medium shot, need a close-up. And as long as I have these 3 moments of coverage, and I just repeat the same action 3 times, and I've shot it, if I only have 1 phone on me or 1 camera, you know, I've shot it those 3 times. If you have 3 phones, that's great. You shoot all of them at the same time. But you know, it's you mentioned writing and board. I just want to make sure that you feel consistently empowered with your ability to show up to any place as your character. That I'm walking around right now, and I've been doing this for years, thinking between out of character, and in character. So I'm walking around saying like, how can I shoot something for my justice for hire scene? And I have to quickly write a script in my head. Like, how could my character, all a scene is a beginning, middle, and end. And all you need are those, you may only need one shot, but maybe you have three. Maybe you have the wide shot, the medium, and the close-up. So, these things can be, and I'm hoping this is helpful for the concept of writing, because the writing to me is more so in here rather than having to be written.
I'm overthinking, basically. I think what I'm thinking is that I'm overthinking, where sometimes it's just like, because it's like driving. Once you know how to drive, you don't need to just go in and be like, put my seatbelt on, put the key in the ignition, turn it. You just know that, and you can go. Like,
Yeah, it becomes the automatic mind.
Like, and they look at it. I have the suit, I have the idea, I have the vision. I have people who can help me. Now I just got to not cut corners, but get rid of stuff I don't need. That I'm overthinking. And I think this is actually helping me realize that I need to, cut back on the unnecessary parts of what needs to be shot. Like, I don't need to write down walking down a block. Okay, I see a block in my head. Okay, I'm walking down that block. I'm gonna make a right. You're gonna stand there. You're gonna stand there. Bam. So now that now that I'm getting a better idea of it, I can because since when I make a suit, I already know what store to go to, what parts I need to order. What I need to get. I don't need to write a list. When I did my creator suit, I didn't make a list of what I need to buy. I already knew. So basically, since I know what I already need to do, I could just go and do it without taking, like you said, unnecessary steps. I think what I'm doing is I'm making too many steps. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. I think that yes, but as long as you, think about what's fun about creator. And you pulling out your phone at any given time. I shot myself doing dishes. I shot myself doing taking vitamins. Like, these little details of my personal life, my experience, work for my character. And all I had to do was take this phone and place it next to me while I did the action. Or sometimes I hold the phone up and I just turn it to myself. And I hold it in a way that doesn't look like I'm holding a phone. And so I almost turn my arm into a tripod, and I say, okay, I'm here and I'm doing this. I'm taking my, and I'm just doing stuff like that allows me, and maybe I'll hold it above myself at a certain angle so I can get a unique angle, or below myself at a certain angle. So and these things I'm doing on my own, and that's not to say that I can't ask somebody who has a phone too, or to hold my phone while I shoot a scene, or shoot a scene with them in it. There's just so many ways to do it. And, the more, I think as long as you feel like you're telling your character's story and that you're telling it from your character's perspective, meaning that you may feel a certain way about putting on your suit. You may feel a certain way about how you hold your shield. I think you had a battery go out when we were on set or something like that, or light go out or something like that. But those are little details. And those are little details that actually are huge, because they give people insight into your experience that no one else is going to have unless you show it. And to show these little moments, if a light went out, on your thing, what shots do you need on your shield? Well, you need a shot of the shield going out, and you need a shot of your reaction. Maybe you need an establishing shot of you holding the shield first, feeling great, and then all of a sudden the light goes out. And you look down, and so now we're thinking about 3 shots. We're thinking about an establishing shot of you holding the shield, and then a close-up of the light going out, and then a close-up of your reaction, and then what do you do from there? All these little things. These are scenes you could be shooting on your phone it could be as simple as how you open a door and how you enter into your house. But these scenes are the things that make heroes unique. And I think that's really what we're going for here with our cinematic universe, is saying, hey, how can we make each one of these characters is already unique, so how can we show that? And it's these little details. And I would focus more on I would focus on some of the little details too. I would add some focus there, because I think whatever you've been working on previously, I mean, obviously your fight with Max Chen, your scene with Max Chen was fantastic. And to be able to keep doing things like that, but also say, hey, you know what? I want to show people how it feels to put on my suit. I want to show people like the challenges I go through when it comes to that, because some of that's probably funny. I want to show
the little body jump, the little tightening something, the little
all these things are fun. And how does it feel to walk down the street in that suit? These are all things that people would ask themselves, but then they'd forget about it. And then they, because no one's gonna, they may not say it out loud. And when you articulate these little things, then you become that much more endearing. And that's
more immersive.
Yeah, it's a more immersive experience. It makes people connect from the heart space to you, because you're sharing something that's very intimate. And these intimate moments, again, like I said, like I wash the dishes, I might, open a door with my foot, like I do all these little things that are unique to me, and everybody has these unique things. So I think that if we see more of that from you, from Creator and the Justice for Hire universe, I think it's going to bode well for everybody.
So I'm gonna just start shooting like everyday scenes, hey, can you just film me doing this real quick, and then see what, just that way I can get a feel for, being on camera. And I know my biggest thing is I don't like the way I look on camera. So like when I was shooting with Max, it was funny because who was it? When the guy shot me, he was just like, don't look at the camera. Like my eyes kept, he said, no, I just need you to just walk. So, once I get in the habit of, pretending that the camera's not there, I feel like I'll be a lot better, just little things, tweaking here and there. So when it comes down to like better production, it'll be more natural, I don't want to look like it's my first time on camera. If that makes sense.
The more you do it, don't worry about that, because it's okay. If it was your first time, obviously it's not, but it would be okay if that was the case. And I think it's really important to look at Yu Long just now, not just now, an hour ago. An hour ago, I saw his post of his newest episode that comes out tomorrow of his Yu Long JFH series. And he's got a clip on there, and he's doing all the characters himself for his thing. And his performance is real. And what I mean by real is that I mean, there's a reality to his performance that earlier was more challenging to see in the earlier episodes. So these newer episodes, he's getting more comfortable because he's doing it so much. And he's actually starting to express nuances and emotion. And that's the kind of stuff that we as a community are going to get to, and he's, you're seeing it in his stuff. And I think that the same will happen for anybody. The same is going to happen for you, that if you have, whether it's, I'm looking at the camera, I need to stop doing that, whatever it is, as long as you do more of it and jump into character, like any given time, you don't even need to necessarily be in the suit, because it would be great to see you out of the suit for some of your stuff. So just being able to get into thinking within your storyline in character, and how little moments in your life can culminate into, you accumulate these little things. These little things are great. And there's a place in the app, that's whether you want to make a short film and off rails and just upload that's in the app, or if you just want to show little bits of your life, that's in the app. You can just upload it there, and just, if it's not on your phone, it's not on any social platform, it's in the app. And then we know that, hey, Creator's showing more intimacy. Let's start building story around that in the main series. These are little things that could be helpful of us understanding, and Creator or anybody who might be showing things that are a little bit more intimate that's going to help us be able to weave other stories out of that. So, you know, you're doing great, man. You are consistently inspiring for me, for the team, and for the community as a whole. And you know, I'm really grateful to have been able to do this with you. And I want to make sure that you know, if you have any follow-up questions, thoughts, or ideas, obviously just reach out to me. I do have to end the session now because we have our Justice for Hire JFH Hero training starting in 8 minutes, doing Tai Chi.
Okay.
But yeah, of course, anybody who's watching this on YouTube after the fact, these JFH development calls are available to anybody who's actively creating in the community. You can schedule them right from the world page. You'll see the little world page has a little banner on top, and you can scroll. And the second you see the JFH development call, you press it, and you can schedule one. So, and again, you have to be actively creating. If you're not actively creating, we'll let you know. Create some more stuff. But you know, this is about your character and your story. And today we've been able to have the honor and pleasure to interview David, aka That Tall Cosplayer, aka creator in the Justice for Hire cinematic universe. So check out what Creator's doing on the JFH app, and just stay posted to the community. And we love you guys. And Creator, you want to give a sign off?
It's been good. I will continue to try harder, you know, and just learn. Every day is a learning day, you know. Don't stop what we're doing, right?
Awesome. Well, we love you guys as usual. And I'm going to press stop on this right now. And hold on. Let me press stop on the recording.